Hey everybody, how's it going? Today I am excited to talk to you all about the 6 ways real-time animation has changed my pipeline. And you're probably wondering, who the heck are you and what is your pipeline? And that's a good question. That's a great question. My name's Nate, I'm an animator and I've been animating for about 15 years now. Currently I'm a senior artist at Unity, but in the past I spent most of my time working on big visual effects movies for film. I like to kind of dabble and create my own stories and my own short films and kind of explore my own little IP as well. And I'm going to be diving into the editor and showing you a few things. But if there's any questions, stick around for after this broadcast. I will be dialing in, we'll have a live discussion. If there's any questions, or if you just want to tell me some really silly jokes, I'd love that as well. So, make sure you stick around. So I started this company called Little Mountain Animation. We focus on just making really compelling animated content with as small a team as possible. We've got a few projects in the works now. One is Norman's Island, which was the first thing I ever did to kind of learn how to use Unity. And the most recent ones are Big Dinosaur, which is a really fun show that I make with my 4-year-old son. One day, since we're all locked in the house together all day, every day, he was just stomping around and he was a dinosaur. And I thought I would record the audio on that on my phone and see if I could help elevate his imagination with some visual animation.
Oh look, Bug, a shooting star. Make a wish, Bug.
And the other one that we'll be talking about is called Magic and Machines, which is a fun sci-fi fantasy sort of hybrid. So here's some of the previous work I've done, Transformers, which was really fun, Marvel stuff, Godzilla was really fun to animate, like big crazy monsters, I love that stuff. And then here's some of the work that I've done from our Little Mountain Animation. I'm really fortunate to have a lot of help, and a lot of my friends kind of chip in where they can, and I'm really appreciative to them. And so I just put some of their names here on this slide, just because I couldn't have done it without them. They're super valuable, and I'm really thankful for all their assistance. So the question is, why bother with real-time animation? Why bother? Why go through all the hurdles? And it kind of goes back to when I first started this. I was just seeing online on YouTube and Twitter and stuff that there is a huge amount of innovation coming from these real-time engines. And there's a lot of potential that me as an animator and a storyteller could really leverage these tools. I just want to make something that could really compete with more traditional offline animations that you see on broadcast television and stuff. And especially, projects that have a large budget and a large team. I thought it would be kind of interesting to see if I could compete with those studios just by having, no money and a very small team. And I think we're getting there. It's exciting times to see where the future is going with this stuff. So the whole reason why I love working in real time is that we can prototype faster. We can make changes to the story and the edit dynamically. We can have seamless iterations between versions of shots and animation, and I'll get into all this. It's more flexible as a creative person. You can kind of have happy accidents. And it works with your professional tools, so you don't have to change your whole pipeline around. You can make multiple products out of one set of assets, which is great. And lastly, I just think there's a couple of things there's a couple of tools in real time that I just feel like are the future, which is exciting to see. So this is kind of the heart of it. This is my favorite thing about working on real-time animation, is that you can have these faster workflows by using the built-in timeline in Cinemachine in Unity, which allows you to have your edit and your actual 3D scene kind of combined at the same time. Traditionally, those two things are very separate. But this way I find I'm able to make more compelling creative decisions faster without having to have this iterative loop going to between editing and back and forth. And we can just dive right into an editor right now and just check it out. We're inside the editor, and you can see here that I have my Cinemachine timeline where I this is really the heart of it, where I have all my cameras laid out and I'm able to scrub and see how my edit is working. This is a really fun, non-destructive way of working because you're able to change your shots around, change your cameras, change the timing, the length, while you're in the 3D scene, which is super beneficial, I feel. I also want to explore some of the new tools that's in the latest version of Unity, and that's like the real-time ray tracing of reflections, which you can see here in his eyes. You can see the stars reflected and the trees and stuff like that. And you can also see, there's real-time global illumination on here as well, which is just a way of, real-time ray trace global illumination, which is just a way of having lights bounce around and create more realistic lighting. So every episode that I do of this show always ends up looking a little bit different. And that's just because I keep on learning more and diving deeper into the software. Which is someone who's just primarily an animator. It's really fun to have these tools that are so straightforward and easy to understand. It's just a really fun way of working. The other thing that's really cool about working in real-time animation like this is you're able to do seamless iterations. And what I mean by that is I can just quickly throw a light in and just start playing with it and just see how it feels and see if you get anything like a happy accident, they call it, with the light values. And just to see, okay, is this what I want it to look like? Is this like at all how I imagined the scene feeling and playing out? Having tools like this that are so responsive immediately kind of allows for happy accidents, which is just a way of saying like I wasn't anticipating the light to kind of respond in a certain way, and it actually looks better than I thought it did if it's over here or whatever. And that's just it just opens so many doors. It's a creative type of, where you're not entirely certain of the outcome, but you're able to go into these areas and just kind of mess around and see what you come up with. And let's just make it a little bit warmer there. Maybe they're sitting by a campfire. I don't know. So this is a really fun way to iterate on your creative process because you can responsively just create stuff. You don't have to have all these endless sort of iteration cycles where you have to, export a video, wait for feedback, and you're able to do it all live in the editor, which is super exciting. So there's another thing that I want to talk to you guys about as well, which is the creative flexibility. There's certain tools in Unity that allows you to kind of get more hands-on and have a really artistic look at things. And so I'm just going to quickly show you what I mean by that. All right, so what we're looking at now is just this fun little shot that I'm putting together of this giant robot dude just running through a city. And this is very work in progress, so, bear with me. But this is just a thing I'm doing for fun. Because I wanted to demonstrate the new virtual camera tools, which I feel like are just, as an animator and storyteller, it's just so cool. This virtual camera is now in open beta, I think by the time you see this, it'll be an open beta. So sign up for this open beta, get your hands on here, and start making some fun stuff with this camera. So the first thing I gotta do here is load the app on my iPad so that I'm able to film this camera. What's great about this is it kind of gives you that nice handheld motion that we're all kind of looking for. It's something that you can easily overdo it on, but I just like to have a nice little bit of that organic kind of feel to my cameras when I'm starting to animate. And using a tool like this just makes it really fun. All right, here we go. So this dude's running. I'm just gonna be like, wow, I can zoom in. Holy crap, you're running around. And we can review that by clicking on this button here and watching that go. Saying, yeah, that looks pretty cool. Let's try one more. And we can record again. So you want to start a bit wider, and then you can zoom in a little bit. You can go a little bit lower. Maybe you want one that's really camera shaky because we're on a helicopter and this guy's shaking it. So let's try it. Whoa! We're bouncing around. This is crazy. And let's review that. Awesome. Let's say we're happy with that. We can just pop it back into the editor and take a look. And there it is. So it's that easy just to make something that feels organic, easy, and it gives you that creative flexibility that I was talking about, which I'm super excited about. Using real-time tools means that you don't have to change your whole pipeline around. This can fit with the real professional tools that you're currently using. If you're using Blender or Maya or whatever, this is just a really fun way of integrating a real-time rendering component into your workflow. This shot here on my desktop, this is a shot from Big Dinosaur, and my friend David I asked my friend David if he would be interested in adding a bit of Houdini simulation to this destruction, as Dinosaur kind of pokes his head through the wall here and is looking for a donut. And it was super easy to collaborate with an artist that uses a different tool completely than I do. He just exported an Alembic cache, and I imported it, and it was super fun and flexible. And this is just me animating in Maya. I use Maya all the time to animate, and I export it as an FBX into Unity. And so it just fits right in with my traditional animation workflow. And lastly, collaboration is really important. For Magic Machines, we use Plastic, which has been acquired by Unity. It's just like a repository like Perforce, and it allows us to really sync seamlessly with our Unity projects with users who are all around the world. The friends that helped me out on this were, some were Montreal, some were over in Spain. So it's just kind of been a true collaboration. This is something that I love too, because, as I was exploring Norman's Island, I thought, hey, maybe I could, take these assets and make a video game out of it. And this is the exact same asset that I used for the trailer. And I just, got an animation controller, started popping in some animations just to see if I could come up with something. And I'm not really a programmer, so I'm kind of stuck on that regards, but it was really fun to explore and take those exact same assets that are used for our TV show, and with a little bit of tweaking, you can get it right there into a game, which is super exciting. So that way it really reduces your barrier of entry, your cost of entry into these other markets. And lastly, I think real-time animation is just the future. I've discussed this a few times now, but it's just so fun, and it's kind of addicting once you start getting in there. This is a video that I made of using the animation rigging package, so I'm able to animate directly in the engine, and I just feel like this is definitely the future, having that full reactiveness of a real-time game engine, but we're able to animate it. Something just gets unlocked in your brain, and it's super exciting, and I can't wait to see how this tool evolves. All right, so one more thing about creative flexibility here is just the ease of use for some of these new tools. I followed a tutorial, which is, I'll share it here. So one thing that's amazing about these tools is the ease of use for some of these more high-end features, like ray tracing. There's this awesome webinar that you can find just by searching ray tracing in Unity. It's on Unity's channel. I just followed that, and it's 30 minutes long. And I wanted to show you guys just kind of the flexibility and the visual upgrade it gives you just by, taking a few minutes to get there. So this is kind of just the default values of everything in our scene. Nothing too fancy going on here, of our little robot dude doing his thing. Hi-ya. All right. So I followed that tutorial, and I started setting up ray tracing, all these, indirect illumination, indirect lighting, all that kind of stuff. So take a few minutes. I won't walk you through it now. I just want to show you, with 30 minutes of tutorials, you can kind of quickly get into something that is customizable and easily makes a difference. That's just enabling the volume changes that I've made. So that I'm using HDR lights and stuff. And so that's just one part of it. The other fun part of it is going into our preferences and enabling the ray tracing. I set this all up, this custom thing that's part of the tutorial. It's not on by default or anything. So if you just, once you have it set up, you can just swap between these levels to get a varying amount of detail. It has to compile a few shaders and stuff. But immediately, I mean, wow, it makes such a difference. You can see, you know, all the reflections in the glasses, in the glass windows here. I just think right off the bat, it just looks really cool without me as a creator having to do anything. Like I am not a lighter. I do not really understand how to make cool images. I just do my best. And using these tools that Unity has provided just makes it really easy to do that. I'm really impressed by this. This is just a couple of days worth of me, you know, animating and laying things out. And you get a really, really incredible image. It's just fun, man. This is just fun to poke around and see what you can come up with. So I will keep on working on this guy, and I don't know how much longer it will take, but I'm just having fun learning as I go. And I hope you guys, you know, are interested. I hope you folks are interested enough to check it out. Make your own things. Take your animation to the next level by using some of these real-time tools. And feel free to reach out if you have any questions. All right? Thanks, everyone. So that's about it, you know. If you're interested in any of the projects I've talked about, you can check them out at littlemountainanimation.com. And also stick around because we are going to be doing the live Q&A. So, yeah, we'll talk soon.